Hollywood is in shock tonight. Oscar-winning icon Diane Keaton, the woman who redefined charm, wit, and authenticity, has died at 79. Her family confirmed the heartbreaking news through People, revealing a sudden decline in her health that took everyone by surprise. Within minutes, tributes flooded social media. Co-stars, directors, and fans around the world are mourning the loss of a woman who never just played a role, she was one. According to People and ABC News, Diane Keaton passed away peacefully in California, surrounded by family. No official cause of death has been released, but sources close to her confirmed she had been experiencing a sudden health decline in recent months. The Los Angeles Fire Department reportedly responded to a medical emergency call at her residence before she was transported to a nearby hospital. As the story broke, the reaction was immediate, a tidal wave of disbelief and grief. Within hours, hashtags bearing her name were trending across Twitter and Instagram. Fans shared black and white clips from Annie Hall in The Godfather, and movie theaters across Los Angeles lit candles in her honor. In the span of a single evening, Hollywood fell silent. The industry that she helped shape, with her fearless individuality and offbeat brilliance, now stood still in mourning. Because this wasn't just another headline. This was the end of an era, and the loss of one of cinema's truest originals. In the months before her passing, Diane Keaton began quietly stepping away from the noise of Hollywood. No dramatic announcements, no farewell interviews, just a gentle retreat. She sold her beloved California home, a place she had once called her dream space, and spent more time in solitude, surrounded by her closest friends, her family, and the little things she loved most. To the outside world, it looked like peace. But those close to her say her body was growing tired, even as her spirit refused to give in. They describe her as funny, sharp, still sending messages filled with humor and light. Even when pain found its way in, Diane met it with grace. She didn't let illness steal her warmth. She had faced battles long before this one. In her 20s, she spoke openly about her struggle with bulimia, how it consumed her life, and how she clawed her way out, not through fame, but through self-acceptance. Later came skin cancer, a fight she turned into advocacy, reminding the world to protect their skin, to take care of themselves. And through it all, she carried the memory of her mother, who battled Alzheimer's, shaping the way Diane saw love, loss, and time. These experiences carved her into someone who could find beauty, even in brokenness. And that's what people loved about her. She didn't pretend to be flawless. Her wide-brimmed hats, oversized glasses, and crisp suits weren't just a look. They were a shield and a statement. A way to say, I'm still here, but I'm on my own terms. Even in her final days, she was still that woman, unapologetic, a little mysterious, and completely herself. She once said, I'm a survivor of myself. And maybe that's why her death feels so heavy, because losing Diane Keaton isn't just losing an icon, it's losing a reminder that imperfection can be powerful and authenticity never goes out of style. Diane Keaton's story didn't begin on a film set. It began in Los Angeles, California, where she was born on January 5th, 1946. Her mother, Dorothy, was a homemaker and amateur photographer, and her father, John, a real estate broker. It was her mother's creative spirit that lit Diane's imagination early on. She watched her mom document life through art, through honesty, through the lens of imperfection, the same lens Diane would later bring to every role she played. After studying drama at the neighborhood playhouse in New York, she found her way to Broadway and, soon after, into the orbit of a young director named Woody Allen. From there, the quiet girl from Los Angeles would become a force Hollywood had never seen before. Her breakout came with The Godfather in 1972, where she played Kay Adams, the woman who loved Michael Corleone but could never fully understand the darkness consuming him. Diane brought warmth and heartbreak to a world of crime and corruption, grounding the chaos with her quiet grace.
Oh, Michael. Michael, you are blind. It wasn't a miscarriage. It was an abortion.
But it was Annie Hall that changed everything. Released in 1977, the role wasn't just written for her, it was her. The mismatched clothes, the nervous laughter, the messy, real charm, all Diane.
Well, bye.
You play very well.
Oh, yeah? So do you. Oh, God, what a dumb thing to say, right? I mean, you say it, you play well, and then right away,
And for it, she won the Academy Award for Best Actress, redefining what a leading woman in film could look and sound like.
It's simply terrific. Naturally, I'm very honored to have been nominated with actresses like Jane Fonda and Shirley MacLaine and Anne Bancroft and Marsha Mason. This is something. Anyway, and
Years later, in Father of the Bride, she became the emotional anchor of family and nostalgia, the kind of mother everyone wished they had. And in Something's Gotta Give, she reminded audiences that love, vulnerability, and humor don't expire with age.
What is this? Okay. Okay, you stay where you are. We have a knife.
Do you live here?
Look, mister, I am gonna dial 911.
Every role she touched carried a piece of her truth. Raw, imperfect, human. Diane Keaton didn't just make movies, she made memories. Her legacy isn't a filmography, it's a mirror. One that shows us that authenticity never fades, even when the lights go out. Within minutes of the announcement, social media filled with heartbreak. Fans shared film clips, quotes, and laughter through tears. Flowers appeared on her Hollywood Walk of Fame star, candles flickered outside her Los Angeles home, and a quiet sadness spread across the world, as if an entire generation had lost its voice. Goldie Hawn was one of the first to speak, writing, "We agreed to grow old together." Her words broke hearts everywhere, a reminder of friendship that lasted half a century. Bette Midler called her the brilliant, beautiful, extraordinary Diane Keaton, a complete original. Steve Martin kept it simple, posting just 2 words, "Loved her." And sometimes simplicity hurts the most. At a live event in Los Angeles, Reese Witherspoon broke down mid-speech, calling Diane the kind of woman who made you feel brave just by being herself. Even Saturday Night Live, the stage where she once brought her eccentric charm, ended its episode with a black and white tribute card. Diane smiling in her iconic suit and tie, the words "Thank you for everything" glowing beneath. For a brief moment, Hollywood stood still, not in silence, but in love. Across the world, fans held small screenings of Annie Hall, played The Godfather in their living rooms, and shared lines from her movies that once made them laugh, cry, or believe in love again. One message repeated everywhere: "Thank you for being real." Because that's what Diane Keaton was, real, unfiltered, unapologetic, unforgettable. Even in death, she brought people together, not through tragedy, but through memory. And maybe that's the greatest tribute of all. A world full of strangers connected by one woman's laughter. She would have loved that. Hollywood will shine again, but something in its light will always feel different. The laughter will echo, the films will roll, but that quiet spark, the one that made Diane Keaton so unmistakably human, will never be replaced. In a world obsessed with perfection, she stood for honesty. She wore her flaws like armor, her humor like truth, and her heart right out in the open. From The Godfather to Annie Hall, from Father of the Bride to Something's Gotta Give, she made us laugh, cry, and feel understood. Her legacy isn't written in awards or red carpets, it lives in the people who saw a little bit of themselves in her. As the screen fades, what remains isn't sadness, it's gratitude. For the woman who reminded us that aging is art, that vulnerability is strength, and that love doesn't have to be perfect to be real. If you've ever watched one of her films and felt less alone, then a part of her still lives in you. So tonight, wherever you are, raise a glass, not in mourning, but in celebration. For Diane Keaton's story doesn't end here, it just moves to a quieter scene. In loving memory of Diane Keaton, your light will never fade.